My name is Yonnif Semi Bawamenewi. I am a second semester student at Universitas Nias Raya. My student ID numbers 25, 200, 27, 10, 15. In this video, I will read a text for my pronunciation practice assignment. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy my presentation. Village and Architecture, Omohada, the traditional house of Nias. Nias people live in highly organized villages. Nias villages often possess impressive stone monuments and large houses which stood on earthquake-resistant timber pylons. Most of these villages have lost its old houses because of their deterioration and difficulties in maintaining the ancient wooden structures from rot, insects, and wear, and hence replaced by other more generic structures. Other reasons why not so many old houses were rebuilt because of the overharvesting of the forests. In the past, Nias villages, especially those of South Nias, were strategically built on top of a ridge or hill and were surrounded by ramparts and security gates. Entry into this village was provided by only two gates via step staircases. The gates lead to a straight paved avenue which runs through the village center with rows of traditional houses on the sides of the avenue. Close to the main square of the village was the house of the village founders, the Omosepua. In Nias villages, the space in front of its houses was the property of the inhabitants. This front courtyard was used for mundane activities, drying harvest before storing. Villages in central Nias was usually smaller than its southern counterpart. The houses are also positioned farther away from the main avenue. Wooden figures, the Adu Jatua, wooden ancestor statues. The people of Nias place great value on wooden figures or Adu. The sole purpose of the Nias figures was to fulfill ritual needs, whether it is to ensure wealth or to perform specific beneficial rites. Nishan figures vary in size from as small as 20 centimeters in height to more than 2 meters tall. When an elderly person died, the family would make a wooden statue known as Adu Jatua. The statue was unveiled on the fourth day after the death of the person. The shape of the wooden statue reflects the status of the person who used them. The more powerful the owner, the more impressive the statue will be made. Nias people believe that the deceased person's spirits reside in the statue. So, all events that occur in the family were shared with the ancestor statues through praise. Ancestor figures were believed to ensure fertility for the family, livestock, and agricultural land. Sacrifices were made to the ancestor statues, especially on important events, births, marriage, and death. Ancestor statues were placed in the main room of the house, sometimes more than 100. A missionary work in 1930 had recorded the removal of over 2,000 idols from a house of new northern convert. Some missionaries even recorded houses collapsing under the weight of these ancestor figures. Small Adu Jatua were bound together horizontally using a rattan and pegs. In North Nias, large impressive ancestor figures is known as Adu Suraha Salawa, Nias language for portraits of honored ancestors. The Adu Surahasalawa represents the first known ancestor of a family, even the founder of the village. The Adu Surahasalawa were usually placed upon a wall or on an altar daro-daro. Another large ancestor statues are the Aduhara. Aduhara ancestor statues are large, elongated, armless, and were high, forked headresses. The statues are generally found in Central Nias and rarely in South Nias. Other wooden figures do not represent the ancestors. These wooden figures were created to heal specific illnesses, to protect villages, or to invoke supernatural beings to aid through rituals. These statues were generally crudely made, as opposed to the finely carved ancestor figures. Joachim von Brenner Felsatz classifies more than 60 types of non-ancestor wooden figures. Many ancestor figures were destroyed in 1916 by Christian missionary movements, which saw them as an old, blasphemous religious symbol. Some were sold to collectors and can be found in museums or private collections around the world. Stone monuments. A stone monument displayed in front of a house to display the power and rank of the house. The Nias produced one of the most impressive megalith culture in Indonesia, especially the center and south Nias. Stones were used to construct different objects and structures. Nias village features impressive stoneworks, large staircases, and broad paved streets. Ritual objects: the behu, vertical column, standing columns, jumping stones, obelisks, altars, and sarcophagi are among the many stone objects produced by Nias people. Stone monuments were central in the Awasa festival, a kind of feast to raise the rank of person. Dedicating stone monuments publicly is considered as one of the several requirements that must be done by a person to prove that he had fulfilled the right to claim a higher rank and to receive honorary titles. The behu is a type of megalith in the form of vertical column. Behu were erected in front of the house of commemorate former great celebration held by the house. The more behu displayed in front of the house, the more powerful his position are in the village. Noblemen display behu that is larger in size and more abundant in numbers than the commoners. A behu with anthropomorphic form is known as the osa-osa. The osa-osa is depicted as wearing traditional Nias attire, the kalabubu necklace and pendant earrings, fondolu or sarodalinga. The osa-osa head is that of the various beasts, usually a lasara, a hornbill, a stag, or a multi-headed mixture of all. Before displaying the osa-osa in front of houses, they were paraded around the village with the house seated, or even standing on top of the osa-osa. Household objects. Nias people produce household objects carved with geomorphic, floral, or geometric motifs. Below are a list of utilitarian objects produced by the Nias people. Bari Gana'a, a miniature jewelry box. Boboatana, clay pot. Dogi, North Nias. Fogao, Dehija, South Nias. A wooden coconut grater used to grate coconut meat to produce coconut milk or coconut oil, an important ingredient in Nias cuisine. Figalae, banana leaf used as place. Halu, a paddy pounder. Haru, a wooden spoon. The base of the handle is carved with various forms of foils. Katidi, weavings from bamboo. Lesu, mortar and pestle. Niru, a tool to separate rice from its husk. Gala, tray-like item made of wood. Solembanio, a drinking container made from coconut shell. Tumba, lauru, a tankard used to weigh rice. Weapons, a group of Nias warriors holding the baluse, shield, and burusa, spear, and with balato, sword, at the side of their waist. Today, the Nias people are almost always presented as a warlike people known for their headhunting tradition and inter-religious conflicts in the past, where manufacture of weapons are highly regarded above agricultural implements. Despite this, none of the warlike activities are carried out by the Nias people, as the majority of the Nias people has been converted to Christianity. Nevertheless, the Nias people were still known as skillful weapon and armor makers. The Nias people used a variety of material for the creation of their weaponry: leather, cord or woven fibers, precious metal, iron and brass. The Nias used spears, swords and blades as their weapon. The Nias spear, Totoa Doho in the south, Toho in the north, was mainly used for hunting. The shaft is made of dark hardwood of Nibum palm warped with rattan. Other types of spears are the burusa with a triangular-shaped head. The Nias sword, gari, is a combat weapon. Both the sword and its sheath have simple undecorated form. The most well-known of the Nias weapon is the balato or telegu, a steel-word sword with a protective amul believed to possess magical power. The balato has a hilt made of brass. The sheath of the balato contains a spherical bundle of rattan, raga balatu, which performed as a protective amul. This protective amul is usually attacked with a variety of objects. Animals fangs with its form so that it looks like the jaw of the mythical Lasara. The balato is only reserved for the highness noblesse as a kind of proof of the authority and the social rank of its owner. Some prominent chiefs cover their armor with sheets of gold. Helmets can be made of iron or thickly woven palm fibers. The oval-shaped shield is known as the baluse in South Nias, while the North Nias produce a hexagonal-shaped shield known as the dange. That's all, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye.